last year's what's in the bag. The only things that are the same are my wedges and my putter. Everything, and my 3-wood, everything else has been changed. So where shall we start? We'll start with the things that stay the same. So we'll start at the bottom of the bag. Okay, so I am still using the Spyder Tour X black. New addition is the Sightline, and I've changed to an actual tailor-made grip on it now, which has made a massive difference to my putting. A lot more confidence around it. So happy with those changes. Subtle little changes, but as I say, still the same. Wedge-wise, we are still using the Callaway Mac Daddy 2s. These are going to be the next thing that changes in my bag. Like a nice pair of slippers, I can't seem to bring myself to change. I've got a goals review, 2020 goals review or goals planning session coming soon. Looking at some of the stats from the first round of golf, I think the wedges have to go, but I don't want them to because they're comfortable. Now, the last thing that stayed the same is the TaylorMade M3 3-wood. The only thing that's actually changed is I've lofted it back up to 17.5 degrees, so it's maximum loft. I was struggling with it at 15, struggling to get it up in the air, with really low penetrating flight, which I don't particularly want from a fairway wood. So watching one of Dave Mack's tips off the Golf Mates channel, I've lofted it up and it's working wonders. So that's staying the same, that's staying there for a little while. Also, when I went for my club fitting at Celtic Manor, the difference between this 3-wood and the 3-wood fitting I went for, there wasn't enough difference to warrant a change, so I've kept it in the bag. It could change, it's very doubtful. So let's start with the new stuff. Let's start with the big stick. Those of you aware that I was using the TaylorMade M3 driver with the Hazardous 6.5 shafting. Obviously I went to Celtic Manor, I went for a Titleist fitting. On the back of that fitting I've pretty much gone full Titleist in the bag, so you know where this is going. So driver wise I was fitting for the TS3. 9.5 head, setting B2. Not 100% sure what the settings are, so I'll flip them up in a second so you can see. Shaft wise I've gone against the fitting, and let me explain to you why. I was fitted for the Evenflow T100 white, so the actual shaft that I've got, I was fitted for a 6.5, which is Torsted. I've actually gone for a 6. Now the reason for that train of thought, as it were, is obviously when I was in a fitting, I was literally going hell for leather. I was hitting everything top end of my spectrum. Now, that's all well and good. I can't go out and play 18 holes and hit the driver 117 mile an hour every swing. I can't. So the theory behind putting the 6 in, the stiff shaft, is I can still go at it when I want to, but when I'm tired or wanting to just find a fairway, I've got that flexibility to just hit it a little bit softer and find the fairway. The 6.5, there's literally no give. You've got to give it everything every time. So that's why I've gone for the 6 rather than the 6.5. That's my train of thought with that. Hybrid. Whilst not the latest, I've still gone with Titleist. I've gone for the 816 H2. In 19 degrees. I'm not going to show this up to the camera because it's absolutely bogging. So yeah, 816, but I'll flip the picture up. Titleist H2, 816, 19 degree, setting A1 with a Rogue 110 MSI shaft in it, 85 gram stiff flex. Again, I was fitted for, in fact I was fitted for this shaft, but in the newer version of it, which was the TS3, sorry, was fitted for this shaft. But I found this on eBay, cheap as chips, and honestly, it's currently my favourite club in the bag. Absolute rocket ship, finds fairways, finds greens if I need it. Now then, the big change or the big shock surprise for a lot of you will be my irons. Now obviously most of you follow me on Twitter anyway, so you'll know that I've moved from blades to cavities. Now obviously there's a big myth around you shouldn't be using blades if you're a mid-handicapper, I bought my blades when I was off 13, got my blades and I come down to 8. So obviously when I went for my fitting at Titleist, obviously I wanted the MBs, but the MBs were too spinny, way too spinny, couldn't really control them, couldn't get the spin down. So I was fitted, and to surprise me, the AP3. So yeah, obviously the AP3 is the equivalent to the T200, so it sits in between the old AP1 and the AP1 and the AP2. It sort of sits in between the two. Obviously I've had a club fitting, so obviously these are 2 degrees upright. I'm not particularly tall, I'm 5'11", so those of you that think you need upright clubs because you're really tall, you don't. It's all, these were fitted on my delivery. Obviously my delivery dictates I need upright clubs, so these are 2 up. Shaft wise, again, same principle as the driver. I've gone for a stiff flex rather than a tall stiff flex. I was fitted for the same shaft as Henrik Stenson, so the NS Pro Modus 3 Tour. 130 X flex is what I was fitted for, but I've gone for the 130 stiff. Again, same principle. I can't go out and hit it top end every hole for 18 holes. I just can't do it. So again, same theory behind it. Go with a stiff shaft, which gives me the tolerance of going at it if I want to. Then obviously I can always lay back if I want to. So yeah, that's what's in the bag. Now then, a lot of you are I can already see the questions because I've already had it. Why did you go from blades to cavities? Long and short of it, these were the best numbers for me when I went for my fitting. Performance-wise on the course, I'm sort of regretting it. Those close to me know that I actually regret changes to my blades, to the point at Christmas I nearly bought my old blades back. I went to American Golf where I actually bought these from. I didn't get custom fit at American Golf, but I bought them from American Golf and they still had my trade-in at Christmas, which I very, very nearly bought my blades back. These will stay in my bag for a little while. The performance-wise, I'm still performing as good as I was. There's a few limitations I feel that I'm finding with this club itself. Struggle I don't struggle, it's just more of I have to put more effort in. If I want to change ball flights, if I want a low one, I've really got to try. High ball flight again, not too much of an issue with these, but to change ball flight and shape of shot, I've really got to put some effort in. Whereas with the blades I was playing, it was a lot easier, it came a lot easier. So that's the only limitation to going back to more of a game improvement line, I guess. So personally speaking, if you're using blades, I wouldn't take that backward step back. That's from my personal experience. If you're using blades, I would stay with blades because I think maybe 21, 22, I'll be going back to blades. Definitely not this year. I'm going to stick with them for a year, for a full season, see where it goes. Obviously, if the handicap changes dramatically, up or down, that may make a decision. So yeah, that's my 2020 what's actually in the bag. Now then, a few other things. Well, one of the main things has changed. As you know, I was using the TaylorMade TP5 and TP5X ball last season, the season before and the season before that. At the actual end of last season, so at the end of when I played my last major in September, since September I've been making a gradual change to the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X. Why? Long and short of it, when I had my fitting at Titleist, I was given 2 dozen TaylorMade Titleist Pro V1s. So obviously when I was running low on the TaylorMade, I started using those. I actually prefer the way they feel off the clubs. It's not a Titleist thing or a Titleist Taylor. It's nothing to do with the brand manufacturer against the brand manufacturer. It's literally a case of they just felt better off the whole bag. It feels more solid ball. I thought the TP5X was the best ball I'd used in the wind until I've started using the Pro V1X. It's so stable in the wind, it's ridiculous. Like I personally don't think there's a better ball out there for the wind. A lot of people will beg to differ. I've used both. It's the differences I can see. So that's the main changes in my 2020 bag. That's it. Still using the Bushnell rangefinder. Glove wise, I'm still using either FootJoy, Stay Soft, or TaylorMade TP range. At the minute, I've got some Poxy Callaway, which I hate. It was the only glove they had in, and it's awful. So that'll be getting changed before my next round of golf. So guys, that's my 2020 what's in the bag. I hope you've enjoyed it. Any questions about my equipment, give me a shout on Twitter, give me a comment below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you soon.